This is my review of Avengers Endgame, and I know I don't normally review movies, but this is such a global phenomenon right now. I felt like I just had to talk about it. So yeah, it opens up with Hawkeye teaching his daughter how to shoot, and it's tragic because we all know his whole family's gonna die right here and now. And they do, and it's sad, and I cried a little bit. Then moving on to Iron Man and Nebula on basically a road trip together, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen, honestly. I'd love a whole side movie just showing these two on the ship for a couple weeks, going back and forth about things. I think that'd be absolutely hilarious. Then they're rescued by Captain Marvel, because, of course, I have a whole rant about her later on. Anyway, so then they get back home, and it's sad, and it's wonderful, and Iron Man hates everyone. And then it's decided, let's go kill Thanos. And then they go, and they kill Thanos, which... Okay. I was very confused right here. I mean, they're going to kill Thanos, and it's like 10 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, what the freak even is this movie? Nope, turns out that Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones. Yeah, so... Okay. What now? I mean, seriously, what now? I mean, yeah, Thor then killed Thanos, which... surprising, honestly. But... what's left to do? I mean... What happens next? And the screen turns black and it says 5 years later. But it doesn't just say 5 years later. It says 5, and then it holds for like 30 seconds. Then it says years later. And I was shocked right here. I mean, I thought maybe 5 weeks later, 5 months later. No, 5 freaking years later. They did a 5-year time skip in this movie, in which basically the world turns to absolute shit. I mean, there's wreckage and destruction and support groups for survivors, and God, the whole world just turned to absolute crap right here, and I was just shocked this is the direction they decided to take. So Ant-Man comes back. A rat activated the temporal chronosome thing, whatever you want to freaking call it, and brought him back, and he is really confused. I mean, like, absolutely incredibly confused. I had a friend once tell me they slept through 9/11, woke up that afternoon, couldn't figure out what was going on in the world. Yeah, this is like a million times that. Half the freaking planet was extinguished in a single second, and that was 5 years ago. I mean, he asked the kid what happened, and the kid's so old he doesn't even really know. He doesn't remember a world before the snap, really. That's terrifying. And we enter another just bizarre scene in the movie. The whole memorial tribute to the fallen, and this feels weird to me, honestly. Just feels really weird. I mean, it's a tribute to, like, well, I guess just for San Francisco or California or whatever. But it's seriously a tribute to the billions who were killed. Just the amount of effort it would take to track down all those names, carve them into stone, set them up. I just feel like, I know it's been 5 years, but I'm sure there are other things that could be going on. The world's in pretty crummy shape right now. They need, resources to do other things. Anyway, then Ant-Man finds his daughter, and she's super old, and this is weird. But not as weird as the rest of the Avengers. Yeah, I mean, Captain America and Black Widow are trying to fight the good fight. Iron Man has a kid, which was weird. Definitely didn't see that coming. Well, I kind of hoped it wouldn't become... Well, I kind of hoped it wouldn't happen. I'll explain why later. Hulk is now Bruce Banner, but he's also the Hulk. But he's also Bruce Banner, but he's also the Hulk. He's like a 50-50 mix between the two. I don't really get it, because he's not as strong as the Hulk was. Clearly, he's not even as big as the Hulk was. But he has all of his brains, apparently, which... Okay, why not? I mean, why not? Thor is the weirdest one, honestly. Even with Professor Hulk, which is what I'm calling him. Thor is absolutely freaking insane. He's a drunk who gained like 100 pounds, lost all his muscle, has a super long beard, and spends his day playing Fortnite with Korg, yelling at teens who call him a dick. Okay. Oh, also he's using Stormbreaker to open beer bottles, which, of course, what else would you do with the legendary axe? So, basically, they get the band back together, except Iron Man's like, I like my new life. And then he decides, you know what, just for the heck of it, I'm going to try and build a time machine. Just see if I can do it. And he basically stumbles upon time travel because, yes, he is that freaking brilliant. He's hesitant, but then he decides, you know what, I'm going to go help them. And they really need it. Because on the first test of time travel, Ant-Man is turned into a kid. And then an old man. And then a baby. And then he says the funniest thing ever. Somebody wet my pants. And I don't know if it was baby me or old man me or me. Oh my god, that was absolutely hilarious. And then, of course, Iron Man shows up and he's like, so, you turned into a baby, huh? Among other things. He agrees to help them, but under the condition that they don't undo the Thanos snap, but rather undo it right now. What I'm saying is they don't undo it when it happened, but undo it now, because Iron Man doesn't want to lose his kid. And honestly, for the most part of the movie, I was entirely 100% expecting all of this just to be undone. Just, they would undo the Thanos snap back when it happened, but maybe some of them would die as a result of it, but that would be it, you know? Everything would go back to normal, because this world is too weird to keep existing. And Iron Man would be super sad because he lost his daughter. But, I mean, really, they kept it. Spoilers, obviously. You're watching this, you're going to be spoiled. And when everyone found out there's new Spider-Mans, Dr. Strange, new Black Panther movies coming out, they said, oh, the snap isn't going to stick. It's stupid. What's even the point of it? Well, this is the point of it. They came back. They came back 5 years later. 5 years has happened, has changed, everything is different now. I have no idea how much, though. I mean, seriously, 5 years have passed. Everything has changed. Everything is different for all of them. Honestly, I've said this before, I'm saying it again, I'd like a spin-off movie or spin-off sitcom that's just someone living in this world. Just Thanos snap happened, it's 5 years later. My wife moved on, married my brother. My sister committed suicide. My 3-year-old daughter is 8 and doesn't recognize me. There are so many just crazy-ass situational sitcoms that could be made from this one premise, and I absolutely love it. If anyone's seen Manifest, think that, but half the freaking world. Oh, that'd be amazing. Alright, so then they decide to time travel, and they get the whole band back together, and of course, just the rules of the movie, they have just enough Pym particles for everybody to go once, which, really? I mean, really? Then why send everybody? Why not, you know? Why does Nebula need to go with War Machine if they're just knocking out if they're just knocking out Quill? Why does the Hulk need to go with Iron Man and Captain America? I feel like they could have just, you know, gone to get the Time Stone on their way back, but, you know, whatever, it's for the sake of drama, why not? Alright, so then they brainstorm, talk about all the stones, when they saw each of them, all that, just on and on and on for hours, apparently. At one point, they're all just laying on the table, staring at the ceiling, just utterly exhausted, which I really liked. I thought that was funny. So then they decide the teams. No, Ant-Man, Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man are going to the first Avengers movie, the attack on New York, to get the Mind Stone, the Tesseract, and the Time Stone. War Machine and Nebula, weird pairing, but okay, are going to get Peter Quill and knock him out at the beginning of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and they're bringing along Black Widow and Hawkeye, who's now Ronin, so they can go get the Soul Stone, which you already know is going to cause issues. So, oh my god, this is just so absolutely insane. Them all just being back in New York on the Avengers. A lot of talk about Captain America's ass, which Ant-Man calls the ass of America, which is absolutely hilarious. So, Iron Man goes to get the Tesseract, which he does by literally giving himself a heart attack. He has Ant-Man break into his chest plate, cross some wires, and his heart basically stops. And then Thor uses Mjolnir to restart his heart, which... Seriously? Seriously? Love that. I also forgot Fat Thor and Rocket are going back to Thor the Dark World to get the ether from his girlfriend, who apparently he refused to have any interaction with. Anyway, so yeah, he causes a heart attack to get the Tesseract, but unfortunately Hulk was coming down the stairs and he was not happy about that, so he smashed his way through, the Tesseract got loose, and Loki escaped, which I feel like should mess with the timeline just a little bit. I'm very much confused about that, but moving on, I really don't understand time travel. Meanwhile, Captain America goes to get the Mind Stone, which is in Loki's scepter, and it's just a straight-up shot-for-shot remake of Winter Soldier, where he's in the elevator and they all agree to fight him, and I was fully expecting that to happen again, but nope, because this time he knows the freaking magic words. Hail Hydra! Oh, wait, no. Hail Hydra! Which just freaks them out so much. I know there's a comic where Captain America ends up being a deep cover Hydra spy, and oh my god, they thought that was the case here. They thought Captain freaking America was Hydra, and it was just so absolutely amazing. And then Captain America fought himself because himself thought he was Loki, which, weird. I also feel like after, 5 years of additional training and experience, it should have been really easy for old Cap to beat up new Cap, but whatever, moving on. So then we move on to the Hulk getting the Time Stone from Dr. Strange, but according to the old one, wise one, whatever, he's performing surgery 20 miles away, so she knows the whole thing that's going to happen, I guess. Then she takes him his astral form out of his body, so it's regular Bruce Banner with Hulk's body, and I fully expected Hulk's body just to go on a massive rampage. But yeah, so basically he explains that he needs the Time Stone to save the future, but she says if he gives him the Time Stone, then she splits off into an alternate reality which will fall because they don't have the Time Stone. Which is fair, because if they don't have it, then Doctor Strange can't beat Dormammu. I've come to bargain. Whatever. And then he explains, then why did Doctor Strange give the Time Stone away? Which makes her realize this is all part of a much, much larger plan. And because he gave the Time Stone away, it tells the old one, wise one, whatever, that she should give the Time Stone away. So she gives it to him with the promise that he'll bring it back. Which, great. But they still lost the Tesseract. Which requires them to go back in time again to the point where they can get the Tesseract and Pym particles. An old-timey war base in New Jersey. Home of Captain America. Which, I really think someone should recognize Captain America, honestly. Anyway, Captain America goes to get Pym particles by calling up Pym and saying, yes, this is the moving department. We have a package for you. Why don't you bring it up? Well, sir, it's glowing, and a bunch of my guys aren't feeling well. Good God, you didn't open it, did you? Yes, we did, sir. Is that a problem? And Pym just runs down, which I find absolutely hilarious. So he steals the Pym particles, and of course, the closet he runs into to hide has a window showing Agent Carter. And of course, she doesn't see him, even though she's right next to him. And of course, the only person on his entire base that Iron Man runs into is his freaking father. Of course. They have a long talk about parenthood and never truly being ready, and how you can't always put the greater good first, which is absolute bullshit, great based on what happens next. But whatever. So then they manage to get back into the present. Nebula and War Machine get the Purple Stone. I forget which one that is. But as they're going to leave, Nebula is basically hacked by other Nebula because they share a conscious whatever thing. So they have access to each other's memories, which is problematic because now Thanos knows not only location all these stones, but how to get them. So he goes and kidnaps the other Thanos so he goes and kidnaps the other Nebula and tortures her and gets all the information about everything. And then the old Nebula takes her equipment and goes back into the future in order to, I guess, bring the entire freaking Thanos fleet with her, but whatever. Anyways, then we get to Thor and Rocket, who have this whole emotional fight, and then Thor has a long talk with his mother, who's able to tell that he's from the future. And it's a good talk. It teaches him that he can be worthy again. He can overcome everything. He can, handle things. And just to prove it, he gets Mjolnir back, which is absolutely freaking amazing. I love it. I mean, it's, Mjolnir. I'm pretty sure he returned at the end, but it's still a sign that he's worthy, and it's a great moment for the movie. The second best Mjolnir moment, but we'll get back to that. Meanwhile, they go to get the Soul Stone, and neither of them recognizes Red Skull, I guess, which is weird to me. I'm sure they must have heard about him in the history books or whatever. Spying 101. But then, again, another ridiculous scene where Hawkeye and Black Widow race off the cliff because one of them needs to die in order to get the Soul Stone. And it said very clearly that even if they resurrect the rest of the world, whoever sacrificed can't, be brought back simply because their soul was given up as forfeit. I just love this back and forth. They're literally racing off the edge. So then Black Widow finally dies, which I think is a good end to our arc. I really wanted her to end up with, Bruce Banner and be happy, adopt some kids or something, I don't know. But this was, at the very beginning, she said, I want to get the red out of my ledger, and this does it. She saved the world by sacrificing her own life. That's basically, that's all the stones. So now they go back, and again, another ridiculous scene. Apparently, Iron Man is able to build a gauntlet as good as Mystic Space Dwarves powered by a dwarf star. Okay. Because, his glove handles, I think, better than Thanos's. Doesn't break as much or, after the first snap. So, yeah, I think that literally means that Iron Man is better than Space Dwarfs. Okay. So Hulk is the only one who can wield it because it's mostly gamma radiation. He's mostly gamma. So he puts it on, does the snap, and everyone thinks all things are good and happy until Nebula brings back the entire Thanos fleet, which, again, that's got to cause some time problems. But thankfully, she also brings back the old Gamora, who teams up with the new Nebula to kill the other Nebula and try to save everybody. So Gamora's back. Again, that should cause issues with the timeline, I think. Anyway. So now it's Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, the originals, all fighting Thanos, who has a double-sided blade thing, which I've never seen before, but whatever. So it's a whole back-and-forth fight, and just as things are looking most bleak and depressing, Mjolnir begins to wobble and shake, and then it flies into the hand of the one who is worthy. Captain freaking America! Booyah! And Iron Man just screams out, yeah! I knew he was worthy! So now it's Captain America wielding Mjolnir, Thor wielding Stormbreaker, beating the crap out of Thanos. It's just absolutely amazing. Then once again all hope seems lost, and then a time portal. Then a portal opens. Another, and another, and another, and another. And it's everybody. And I'm not sure about the theater you saw it in, but in mine, every single person was screaming, shut up, because everyone's gasping and cheering. So everybody's back. Not just the fallen heroes, the entire Wakandan army, a whole bunch of spaceships, the Valkyries, everybody is freaking back, and it's absolutely freaking beautiful. And so then we get into this huge all-out brawl. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Iron Man hug. And then Scarlet Witch basically fights Thanos one-on-one and more or less wins, which I found absolutely amazing. It feels right, given her power set, that she's equal to, unarmed Thanos. Especially given her absolute rage at him for killing Vision. Then he starts launching his rockets into the crowd, because why not? And then Captain Marvel shows up and saves everybody, which I gotta say, a little disappointing Captain Marvel. I didn't actually see her movie. I wanted to, just never got a chance. And she just... People might call me sexist for not seeing it. I wanted to, I really did. Anyway, she had like no real purpose in the movie. Everyone was theorizing in line before the movie came out. Oh, she's gonna be the one to access the quantum realm. She's gonna be the one to do this. She's gonna be the one to do that. Blah 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 blah. And she had like no real role in the movie. She brought Iron Man back, but he only needed to be brought back because the writers said the fusion cores were broken. She stopped Thanos from firing into the crowd, but he didn't actually need to fire into the crowd. That was ridiculous for him to even do that. So yeah, not a lot of purpose in her being there. And while I'm being sexist, the all-female Avengers suddenly fighting Thanos one-on-one was just so ridiculous. I mean, I like the, metaphor. I like the, it's female empowering, all that. But all the females are suddenly available while all the men are busy elsewhere. I just thought that was absolutely stupid. Again, like the symbolism and the female empowerment thing, whatever. But it just seemed ridiculous that they would all be there, at the same time. While no one else was available. Alright, so then it's basically keep away from Thanos, trying to get the gauntlet to the time machine. Of course, Thanos gets the glove, and then... yeah. Iron Man is told that this is the one timeline. He had to stay alive for this one moment, and he understands. He manages to get all of the crystals away from Thanos, somehow. And he snaps his fingers, and he ends Thanos' entire fleet, but... as a result, he's killed. And I gotta say, I just really wasn't expecting this. I just really wasn't. I figured, even as he lay dying, even as Spider-Man and Pepper Potts were holding him, he'd find it. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention Pepper Potts has her own Iron Man suit? That was awesome. Anyway, I really thought, someone else would wield the glove. Thor or Captain Marvel or somebody, and they'd snap and bring him back. Even when he gave his own, eulogy, funeral message thing, I figured, he was going to make his way back. He had this whole speech with his father about how he hopes his father said he hoped his son wouldn't, be so obsessed with the greater good. And it felt like that was where his arc was going, not being so obsessed, moving on. Like, I could see the stones causing severe permanent damage to him. He has to, stay home for the rest of his life. He can't fight anymore. He's retired. He's no longer Iron Man. He passes on the mantle to War Machine or somebody. But no, he's dead, and I just found that so disappointing, really. My overall hope is that in the next Spider-Man movie, he gets a Spider-Man suit where the AI is Tony Stark. I think that would be a great, way to keep him alive. And honestly, I really hope Spider-Man and Iron Man's daughter end up not together or anything like that, but like brother sister. Like he's supporting her through everything. He's helping her out. And I think that'd be really great. Maybe he just takes on the role, like the big brother for her. Anyway, there's funeral. Literally everyone ever is there except Coulson, because, of course, not because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really no longer considered canon at all, which is depressing. Alright, so then, where are we? Then everyone tries to make things right. Spider-Man reconnects with his friend in the chair, and based on the trailers for Far From Home, it looks like his 5 main classmates were all snapped together, which is lucky. People reconnect. They decide to move forward. Ant-Man has to deal with the fact that his daughter is now like 15, which is super weird. And then Captain America goes to... sorry, I almost forgot. Thor joined up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Asgardians of the Galaxy now. And that's just really weird. And he's still fat, he's still out of shape, he's still not like the God of Thunder! So he doesn't really feel overly powered here. But I can't wait to see him in, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That'd be absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, and the head of the Valkyries is now apparently the Queen of Asgard, which, okay. I mean, that made sense. Thor was always running away from his role as king, you know? Also, I think Loki might have escaped in the past, so they have permission to bring him back in the present, maybe. I don't know anymore. I really don't. And they literally killed Thanos before he did the snap. I mean, that apparently had no effect on the timeline, so... You know what, whatever, I'm not gonna think about it too much. So they decided to send Captain America back in time to the various, timelines so that he can return all the stones, hopefully at the right time without causing any further issues. But nope, he doesn't come back. And then Sam and Bucky see an old man sitting on a bench, and they decide to go over and talk to him, and it's Captain freaking America as an old man. He went back in time and apparently hooked up with Agent Carter and lived out a full life with her, I guess, which, again, should have seriously screwed up the timeline, but, whatever, I don't care at this point. So he lived a full life with her, which, okay. And then he passes on the shield, which was already destroyed, but I guess rebuilt. Oh yeah, Iron Man gave him back his shield, which, nice moment. And he ended up giving it to Sam, so he could take on the role of Iron Man, which I know he does in the comics, but I really wish Bucky had gotten the shield. I thought it would have been so much better. Also, I'm pretty sure Sam is still considered a war criminal. Yeah, I don't care at this point. Who really cares? So yeah, I guess War Machine is the new Iron Man. Sam's the new Captain America. I had a theory going on that Black Widow was going to become the new Hulk, but I guess not. Black Widow's gone. Iron Man's gone. Captain America's basically gone. He's an old man. He could still show up in the next movie or whatever, but he's basically gone at this point. Now the new heroes have to rise, I kind of feel like, Hawkeye's basically retired, so he's not coming back. And Hulk Banner, Professor Hulk, I'm not really sure what to expect from him. He's basically the last original Avenger, isn't he? Yeah, I think he is, though he's not much of a fighter anymore. I mean, he still has, the Hulk's strength, but not 100%. The Hulk was definitely stronger and bigger than he is right now, so, yeah. So now the new Avengers, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, War Machine, Bucky, new Iron Man, new Captain America, Black Panther, as Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, Thor's still alive, but he left Earth and now he's a space pirate or whatever, so I don't really count him as being an Avenger anymore. And yeah, that was quite a movie. No post-credit scenes, which the usher in my theater felt the need to scream out multiple times to get us the hell out of there. I thought that was funny. And then he started yelling, DC's better than Marvel, and I'm pretty sure some people beat him up, but, that's a story for another day. God, this movie is just such a phenomenon. There was literally 10 different showings at the theater I went to, and every single one of them was sold out completely. I've heard some theaters are opening 24/7 so they can keep showing this movie forever, and just absolutely insane. It really is the conclusion to everything that's built up. The Infinity Stones are gone. They went back and revisited all the old movies. Well, at least 3 old movies. All the basic Avengers, except Thor has his own, arc concluded, and we're moving on to the next generation, the new Avengers. Just really not sure what's, going to happen next, who's going to lead them. But it's a new generation, a new arc. I heard a lot of people say that the universe would be destroyed and remade, and therefore they could bring in new actors to play the old roles, and in a way they really did that. They have these new characters taking on the old mantles, and I'm just really excited to see where they go forward. Like I said, I would just love a sitcom of just everyone trying to, get back into their old lives of, their house was repossessed, their wife moved on, their kids are old and don't recognize them. I just love that as a sitcom. Oh, I'm also wondering if I'm pretty sure there's a new Ant-Man movie coming out eventually. I'd love it if his daughter ended up taking on a Ant-Man role. That'd be really funny. Though we didn't see his ex-wife or her new husband, so I'm honestly not sure if either of them is still alive at this point. They really did bring in everybody. So many characters who are gone. Wise one, old one, whatever. Ancient one. It was the ancient one. Loki, Thor's mother, Jane. She's not gone, but she's basically gone. All those guys in the elevator. The secretary. It's still no freaking Coulson. That pissed me off. Alright, so, yeah. Those are my thoughts on Avengers Endgame. Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. What moment did you think was the best? What moment did you think was the worst? What moment made you cry? Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, whatever that might be. Peace.